Good afternoon. Today we are continuing to work with those percentages. We are doing CO27. I can find a percent of change. Okay, so remember what I said at the beginning of this unit, percentages, these are really easy, converting between percent and fraction and decimal, got it. These are easy peasy. We're getting into more complicated objectives, right? We're really having to work them through. Percent of change is a whole new concept for us. So we really need to rely on what we did know and be open to hearing what this new concept is. So perhaps you've encountered one or more of the following situations. Let's say last year's 8th grade class had 40 students and this year's class has 50 students. What is the percent of increase from last year to this year? Or maybe the total snowfall in winter last year was 47 inches. This year it was only 28 inches. What is the percent of decrease from last year to this year? Or maybe in 1998, a 20-ounce bottle of Mountain Dew was only 99 cents. In 2023, a 20-ounce bottle of Mountain Dew was $2.19. What is the percent of increase in the price? Because everything keeps increasing, but what's the percentage that it increased? Or maybe the original price of an 8 gigabyte iPhone in 2007 was $599. Today you can buy one on eBay for only $30, because who wants that old of a model, right? So you can buy really cheap on eBay. So what is the percent of decrease in the price? So we are working on finding out that increase or decrease. To answer questions like the ones above, we use this formula. So you are going to need to know, to love, to understand this beautiful formula. Okay? Put a little stars next to it, make it stand out. This is important. I need to have this on my help sheet. Every year I tell friends, put it on your help sheet. And every year I have friends getting it wrong on the test because they forgot what the formula was. And they come up to me and they're, I don't remember how to do that. And I will look at them and say, is it on your help sheet? And they say no. You gotta put formulas onto help sheets, okay? So let's look at how we're going to use this. The formula is the difference between values. Now this is important to note. A difference is never negative. It's just how far apart from them are they. It's like the absolute value, right? How far apart are the two numbers? So you always take the biggest number and you subtract the smaller number. No negative numbers when we're looking at the difference. So always take the big number, subtract the small number, and then we're going to divide it by the original value, that first value that we're given. So let's look at our 4 examples, and we're going to use this formula. So we're going to need those calculators, so make sure you have your calculator out. Yes. Why is it in your locker? No, you can't go. We're recording right now. So you'll have to use, you can use one from my back counter. Ellen. All right, so in our first one with our students, last year there were 40 students, now there are 50. What is the percent of increase? So I have my fraction I have to write. Difference between the values. What math calculation am I going to write on there? How do I find the difference, Henry?
You would do 40 minus 50, or no, 50 minus 40.
Why did you switch it, Henry?
Because then we'd have a negative number.
Yeah, we don't want to do, our first number was 40, our second number was 50. We don't want to do 40 minus 50, because that gets us a negative number. Remember I said, always do the big number first, and then the small number. And then what do we put on the bottom? What is our original value? Joe? 40, because the problem starts out, there were 40 students. The original value is always going to be that first number that's given. Right, the first value you're given is your original, that will go on the bottom. On the top, no negatives. Big number minus small number. Now, we're gonna do the math. What's 50 minus 40? 10. So now in your calculator, you do 10 divided by 40. Always do the top number first, divided by the bottom number. What is 10 divided by 40, Emily? 0.25. Now this is important. The question says, what is the percent of increase? So I got a decimal. We learned a few objectives ago how to go from decimal to percentage. My answer has to be as a percent. If you give me a decimal as your answer, it will be wrong because it's not answering the question. What percent is this, Colton?
25%.
Your answer must be as a percent. Now, as I've been saying for previous objectives, we are showing our work. You are writing your calculations out, not just putting it into your calculator saying, oh, well, I can do 50 minus 40 in my head and then divide. No, we're not doing it all mental math. You write down your calculations and then you put it into your calculator. But you have to write down your calculations that you're doing. Let's look at our snowfall problem. What is my formula going to look like? What is that original equation? What are we going to put? Elliot.
You put 47 minus
47 minus what?
28
28.
over 47.
Over that original number of 47. So last year was 47 inches, this year's 28 inches. Our original number was that 47 from last year. So what is 47 minus 28? Clara?
19.
So now I have 19 over 47, which means I divide them. What is 19 divided by 47? Finley?
0.40.
So what percent is that?
40.
40%. Let's do our Mountain Dew. What is my equation look like? Using that formula, put in the numbers, what should I write down? Elliot's the only one who knows what to write down. Ellen?
2.19 minus 0.99.
Over what?
219.
What was the original number?
20.
So in 1998, a 20-ounce bottle of Mountain Dew was 99 cents. In 2023, it's now $2.19. So look at our two numbers given that you used, our two amounts. $2.19 minus 99. Which of these two numbers? 99 cents. So yep, we saw other numbers. We saw 1998, we saw that 20 ounces, but we're not using those numbers in our formula, so it's not going to be our denominator. Okay, we're looking at the two amounts, and we had to pick which one of those came first. So what's 219 minus 99 cents? Finley?
1.20.
Over 99, and we need to divide it. What is $1.20 divided by 99 cents? Colton? Who's gonna be brave? What'd you get? Bo?
1.18.
1.188?
Wait, no, it's 1.2. 1.2.
Okay, say that again, 1 point what?
1.20. 2. It
Go
was
to the
actually
thousand.
1.2 or 2.
1.212.
1, 2.
Why did I say go to the thousandths place, Henry?
Because you're either gonna round up or down.
Because we are gonna round that hundredth place. Percentages, we round in the hundredth place. So always go to the thousandths when you have decimals. So 1.212 would round to 1.21. What percent is that? Joe? 121%. Holy Hannah, that is a huge increase in price. 121% increase. Next one, the iPhone. Who can tell me what my equation should look like? Clara.
Would be
599 minus 30.
And then your original number is 599.
Yep, that original number that was given first was 599. So 599 minus 30 is 569 over 599. Divide top by the bottom. What do I get? Victoria. 94 what? 0.949. What does that round to? Henry?
0.95.
And what percent is that, Elliot?
95%.
95%. So, important things to remember. Look at the two values you use on top. That bottom number is the first value that we got to in our equation. That's the original value. Remember when we write down our decimal, go to the thousandths place so you know how to round it. Clara?
Will we be able to use your calculators on the test?
Absolutely. So I have to look at the first few objectives we might not, when we're converting between decimals and fractions and percentages. That one I don't think we can use the calculators for. I know I looked up Math 6 test, and it was the one where the first page they tear off, that's a no calculator, and then the rest of the test, you can use it. I believe pre-ultra is the same way. I'm gonna look at it again before class is done and verify it, but I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, the first page is a no calculator. You turn that into me, and the rest of the test you use the calculator. All right, so let's scroll up, or scroll down. So find the percent of change, round to the nearest tenth. So I'm gonna say no. I don't know why he would do that. What should we round to?
There's 100.
So we're changing tenth to hundredth, because when we work with percents, we're in his answers, go to the hundredth place. So he just accidentally put tenth instead of hundredth. So cross off the tenth, put hundredth. You're going to do that same math. Remember, finding the difference, you put the big number first, subtract the small number, divided by the original number. So you must show your work. Write out your calculation that you're doing. Okay, 130 minus 90 is 140 divided by 90. Write out what decimal you get and what percentage that turns into. So write it out. Understand? I'm looking for work, not just for answers. Show your work. Look at that. Show your work. On the second page. So this first page, we have original new. Boom, boom, simple, simple. It's not confusing, right? We know what the original number is. We know what the new value is. We know how to put it in. Second page, now we have words thrown in there. We're still doing the same thing. Finding your original value, or finding the difference between your two values, dividing it by the first one, that original, and finding those percentages. So if we're going from the 1800s to 1850, I'm gonna look at the 1800s to the 1850. This is my original, this is my new. Use the numbers that are up top. Okay, that's a lot of the same. Then answering the questions, you have to use a little critical thinking. How can I use my answers to answer these new questions and explain it? Then we have a new set of another word problem. Finding that percent of increase from 1970 to 2021. And then we have review. Make sure you're doing the work, okay? If we don't have time to finish it in class, it's homework. It's okay to have homework. It's not okay for us to just slop down work to say we're done because oh gosh, I have a hockey game tonight. I don't have time. No teacher, no parent wants to hear, well, I didn't have time to do my homework. What comes first? School, okay? Make the time. If you're having trouble making the time, check in with your parents. I've got all this stuff to do, help me time manage, okay? Don't go so fast that you're making all these mistakes because you're not learning that way. It's not gonna help you on the test next week. Do the work correctly so we understand it, so we will do well on the test next week. If you are watching at home, I hope you are well and I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like and subscribe.